guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Becca, and here in my little corner of the web, I like to talk about budgeting and lifestyle, and today I'm sharing my March 2022 budget with me. So it should be a pretty normal month, other than we have spring break. So my husband, Jared, does not teach for 1 week, but other than that, it's pretty normal, nothing else big planned. So let's get into it. I am still budgeting in my online Excel spreadsheet, and it is so much easier, and it's so much easier to make and share this with you this way. So, as far as income, I've blocked out individual sources of income, my part-time job, and Jared's two sources of income for his privacy, because he doesn't ask to have it shared. But I am sharing my business income, which is very small. As of right now, I really took the leap to start focusing on my business as an event planner last summer, and so I've started to take some draw from it, and it would have been more this month, but we had it's a really long story, but a situation that caused me to have an unexpected, pretty high cost for that business due to having to book a hotel to stay for an event where there was some inclement weather. But I'm planning to take home $396, and then I always share miscellaneous as well. We don't usually have any miscellaneous income planned, but sometimes we do for like birthdays. So our total income planned for March is $5,096.63. And you can see here that actually we already have some income come in. So that is from my husband gets paid per project, and we are trying to get at least a month ahead in his project income, and see how far we can get ahead due to taking a trip this summer. We're going to Europe for June and July, and we want to get ahead so that we can use some of his income to spread it out over those 2 months. So you'll see here in this blacked out column, this is where I calculate Jared's take-home pay, because he gets paid before taxes, and then we set aside taxes. So I put in every time he gets paid, and then it calculates up here the after-tax amount. And then next we have our giving category, and I have started not sharing the individual sources just for privacy, because I decided I didn't want to share identifying information about the church we attend, but we are believers, and so we believe in tithing and giving to our church and other small ministries that we support. And so our budgeted amount this month is $557, and we're already at $381, and this is in our actuals, and this is just because it's kind of confusing, but because my husband is one project ahead, we are obviously he tithes when the money comes in, but since we're not accounting that income till next month, I accounted the tithe as a March expense as well, if that makes sense. And then I always just put our pre-planned monthly donations in here so that when they actually come in, I won't be surprised and mess up how much we thought we had in our buffer. So that's the story behind that. And then our bills category. This is pretty standard. Nothing much changes other than our utilities by small amounts. So this month our mortgage is $1,200. Jared's phone and my phone are $116. Oops. Our Wi-Fi is $71.15. Electricity next month is $52.86. I've already got the bill for all of our utilities. Water, sewer, trash is $78.66. Natural gas is $28.23. Car insurance, so I'm not quite sure because it does something weird when we renew, and this is the month we renew, so I haven't pulled up what the actual amount is, but I know it's around $154. And then Jared's health insurance is $160.37. Life insurance for both of us is $59.13, and my gym membership is $21.60. So our regular bills are $19.42. And then our variable expenses. Okay, so this one, or I'll move the camera back this way. Okay, so with our variable expenses, you'll see some actuals already in here, and this is just because sometimes I get a little bit ahead of the month in spending, and so I put it into the next month only when it's right at the end of the month. I just ordered some things that I know won't be here till March, so I counted those as March expenses. It's not ideal, I know, and it's kind of using ourself as a credit card, but it's just what I do. And I try not to borrow too much from future us, but some months we just have higher expenses, and so I know the next month we won't have as many. So for groceries, I have and household, I have a regular $4.50. For eating out, I have $1.80. For gas, I have $1.10, and this may need to be raised. I'm trying to decide here, because if it needs to be raised, it'll be for some events that I have for my business coming up. And I may pay for gas for those fill-ups out of my business card, and then it won't go here, but we'll see. Jared's allowance is $100, and mine is also $100, and those are the two places where there's already some spending. So that's not great, not good to us. And then I have my business as a line item in here, but I don't really spend out of our personal account anymore. I just have it just in case. And then subscriptions, we have about $60 in subscriptions. Although last month I did cancel a $15 a month subscription, so we'll see how it changes because of that. For miscellaneous, we always just budget $100. And then for house items, this would be like permanent things for our house. So not like toilet paper and paper towels, that stuff I put up in households with the groceries, but this would be like if we buy a new pillow. We just got new patio furniture last month unexpectedly, but we did our taxes and we had a pretty big tax refund and from ourselves, and I'll explain that later. But I found this like used patio set for $200 and it was perfect, and so I jumped on it. And so we're probably gonna buy some like outdoor stuff for the patio because it's gonna start to warm up. Actually, as I'm filming this, it's like freezing and raining here, but in Texas, usually in March, it starts to get warm, and you can hang out outside again. So we're really excited to be able to use our patio with our new furniture. So our total in variable expenses planned is $1150. I'm a little bit under the weather today. I'm not feeling the best, so I'm struggling a little bit, but we're trying. Okay, and then sinking funds. So I've blocked out the start amount and the finish amount because I had not closed out February's budget, and I wanted to save that for my February recap. But we have all of these sinking funds, and that is where all of our extra money goes right now. So we do a zero-based budget, which means we give every dollar a name, and we try to work on one financial goal at a time with all of the extra money that's in our budget above our expenses. So right now that goal is travel. We just a couple months ago, or 2 months ago, I guess, at the end of 2021, finished our $10,000 emergency fund. So that's what we're working on now. And we put up quite a bit of money into our sinking funds every month. For home maintenance, we do $100, which we're technically supposed to do 1% of the home's value and then divide that by 12 every year. So really that would be, I think, $200 now, and we should do more. I'm just struggling with allocating all of the money to reach like our travel goal in time. So this is what we're at right now. So for reno, we're doing $25, and this is just a teensy bit that we're tucking away right now. This will be our biggest goal after travel because we are hoping to add a studio apartment to our backyard, but it's not a priority right now, which is why there's only $25 going there. And then travel. So this is every extra penny. So if we have more come in, which hopefully we will, the way we plan our budget is that I try to plan for the lowest amount that Jared will make, because it's so inconsistent with like being self-employed and being paid by the project you complete. So hopefully we'll be able to put way more in, but I just like to plan for as little as might be possible. So we're planning on $432.63. And if you haven't watched any of my videos, the reason we're putting so much money towards travel is that like I said, we're taking our trip to Europe, and we're planning on spending about $12,000 total. But most of it has been already, like our big ahead of time expenses have mostly been covered. We already paid for our flights there and back. We've bought we've paid for 2 Airbnbs, a month in France and a month in Italy. So we just have a couple more things, and then like spending money while we're there. And then we used most of our tax refund for this category. And our tax refund, when I say refund, because Jared is self-employed and I am partly self-employed, we have to save our own taxes. So we put that aside in a separate savings account, and then we pay quarterly. And then at the end of the year, whatever is in the account higher than what we saved and have already paid is our refund, which is great because it's immediate and we didn't have to give it to the government to hold interest free all year long. And that is, it works really well for us. So we had about $4,500 this year saved, just like extra savings money, and we put most of that to travel. And then gifts. So we're putting $125 towards gifts this month. We have, I think, one birthday and then our anniversary. Oh yeah, that is the other big thing that happens in March. It'll be our 2-year anniversary on March 21st. So that's exciting, and we don't really have anything big planned for that. I have a wedding the day before, so we can't really go anywhere, but we'll see what we end up doing. And then Christmas, I'm just saving $50 right now for Christmas costs, gifts and such. Airbnb, this is also something new that I've input into our budget. So just in trying to figure out when we travel, we've started listing our house on Airbnb, and we have some costs that come with that. Mostly like we had some people stay in February, so I bought new towels, like so we would have additional towels, and we always have to pay for a cleaning person. And then when we're gone this summer, we'll also have to pay for yard maintenance and property management. So those expenses, I'm just trying to add like into our income a line for Airbnb, and then into our sinking funds a place like basically the amount that is the income of the Airbnb, and then all the expenses in the minus category. And it's kind of confusing. It'll make more sense when you see it in a later month when we actually have someone stay with us. But we have 2 bookings already for this summer, so I went ahead and added it because we are starting to have expenses, and so we'll just be negative in our expenses, although it's all one bank account, like the balance of all of our sinking funds, so that we don't have to have those costs actually come out of our budget until the income comes in. Hope that makes sense. But so we're not really doing anything with that line item right now, but I've just put it in for the future. And then health, doctor's appointments, medicine, vitamins, those kinds of things, $125, and then $120 towards auto. But we may want to up this because currently I just had like a little accident. I hit a curb and blew out my tires and a rim. So my car is currently in the shop right now, and we're not sure how much it's going to cost, but it's definitely going to wipe out all of our saved auto money. So we may want to add more than we're planning on next month, and we'll just see how that happens. But the total planned amount for sinking funds is $977.63. And then moving down to like long-term savings items. So these are like our emergency fund, which, like I said, we fully funded to $10,000 at the end of last year, so we're not putting money towards it. It's just in here for when we start adding again to get it a little bit higher. Our buffer, we also keep a $3,500 checking account buffer, which is supposed to be the amount of all of our monthly expenses, so that it doesn't matter when our income comes in throughout the month, we have enough in our bank account to cover it. And every once in a while, it just feels like maybe I missed some expenses somehow or something, but I'm just trying to make the account a little beefier because it kind of feels like it's dwindling. So putting $50 towards that. And then investments, this is Jared's Roth IRA and my Roth IRA. We're putting $420 or planning to put $420 this month. So that's a total of $470 to savings items. So then moving over so you can see our budgeted expense breakdown. This is like, they recommend you do like 50% towards needs, 20% towards wants, and 50 towards needs, 30 towards wants, and 20% towards savings and investments kind of thing, or savings and debt, whatever. Like if you have debt, that would go there, but we only have like the mortgage on our house because we've paid off all our debt. But so I like to see like what it is based on our budgeted, and then I'll go in and input the numbers for our actuals when we finish out the month. But right now, I just like to make sure that we're above 10% in giving, and that we're not that much higher than 50% towards our like need to live expenses. And right now this is like 60%, but it will be lower if we make more income, which is usually how it goes. So I like to keep it under 50 for these needs, although some of them are wants, things like, you know, each of our allowances. But anyway, that's what I like to do. It helps me see a visual of how our money is being spent. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and you can look out for more videos from me soon, and I will see you later. Bye.